Today I am in Clarence, Missouri, and I'm at a cemetery. Well, sort of. Let me show you. This is going to be different, maybe a little bit creepy. So this is what I mean by a little bit creepy. There is a gas station here with a bunch of mannequins in it, and it's right by this cemetery. So I have to admit, this gas station is different, but it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of nostalgia to it. Old signs and pumps. But it does have a little bit of creepiness effect to it. And that there's all these cars with a bunch of mannequins or dummies in it. So this old LTD from Missouri has a lady inside of it. You can tell it used to have a vinyl roof on it. But she's just in there driving along, pulling up to the service station here, and check out all these little cars here. This says taxi right there. Not sure if they use this for anything. Looks like there's a newer car, maybe a Camaro or something that's all covered up. MFA oil. Pretty neat. There's an old Coke machine here. It says, enjoy that refreshing new feeling. Have a Coke. 35 cents for that. No bottles in there though. This is an old Ford Galaxy 500. It says taxi on the back and then Clarence with a bunch of flags. But I don't know, those are some weird looking mannequins in there. Clarence taxi. Let's see what's inside. So this is the back seat. It's a bunch of apes in the back seat. Wide-eyed. They've been on the road a while, I guess. There's even a name on this one. It says Lyle. Can't really read what the other one says. Oh, they've got a little baby monkey right in between there. So this is the front seat driver. That mannequin's seen better days. A little worn out and cracked. The eyeliner's hanging tough there. Love the little taxi hat on there. Isn't that something? City of Clarence. Over there in the passenger seat up front is a coffin with a little skeleton in it. A full-fledged taxi though. This is certainly different. It's a little bit of a creepiness to it. There you can see that skeleton in there. Oh, there's another little skeleton thing right there. So this ape is named Anna Louise. Look at this doll, this little kid sitting in the window. He's got a Pepsi can and a flag in his belt. Just staring out at the apes. I don't blame him, I'd stare too. But he's also got a bad case of dandruff, buddy. You need to look at all that dandruff down there. You're getting dandruff in your Pepsi. So there's a little history of the station. It says we opened the station on December 28, 1957 and retired in March of 1998. The first station was built in 1954, a block building with a single bay. In February of 1975, we had a fire that destroyed the building, but not our business. It was built back by May 3rd of that same year as a double bay. In 1958, we added a used car lot, which we had until 1984. We started out as a DX station and later went to Sunoco. And then in 1989, we went to MFA. Now in the days after retirement, our idea was to bring the station back to the 50s, so we began to find vehicles in that time period filled with good customers. One of our first finds was the service truck. My first one was a 1938 truck I bought for $75. Two of the cars on the drive belonged to two good customers that bought them new. and I always serviced them. Many memories. The famous monkeys were from a clown friend who performed with them in the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. If you notice, they have our names and remind us we are all just monkeying around with yesterday. Lyle and Anna Louise Van Houten, if I'm saying that correctly. That makes sense why their names were on there. And this says Hager's Grove. And there's a payphone booth here, complete with the sign. Just a more modern phone there. Someone's got it hanging upside down. That's gonna bug me. I gotta fix that. There we go. So looking inside the window, there's another mannequin there next to that heater stove. And they have all sorts of stuff in there. Little replica payphones and gas pumps and photos and pictures. I guess maybe those are photos and pictures of their old service station, but all sorts of oil memorabilia. Another mannequin guy, a service station attendant there in the back. Love all the old signs. I'd love to have some of them. Pretty interesting to look in there and see all this old stuff. No smoking. Looks to me like they still use the service station at least to take care of their own cars, maybe. Some newer tool chests and fluids and stuff like that in there. I think this guy thinks he's in trouble. Look how stone-faced he is. It's gonna be okay, buddy. It's gonna be okay. Cops don't want anything to do with you. I notice this lady is having such a good time at the service station, she's literally busting out at the seams. You can tell this is an era gone by. I remember standing up in the seat just like she did. Can't do that anymore. It was a lot of fun. Also remember climbing up on that back dash and picking my nose and getting the truck drivers to honk their horn. Fun times. So they're really on quite a road trip. Came from California pulling this, which I assume is some sort of pop-up camper, I guess. Not familiar with this. It says Apple. So check out this old lamp post right here. It's in pretty good shape. Even this old pump right here that says it contains lead. Regular gas. It's in really good shape. It's got the old globe up top. Definitely see that that is an old pump handle right there too. Glass must be full before and after delivery. Here you have an old air pump tire inflator right there. Really cool. You can see the cemetery off in the background. I mean, it is really close to this service station. This car came from New Jersey, so they're on quite a road trip as well. Old Ford Maverick. My brother had one of these. It was a two-door. Pretty good car. Leaked some oil though. He had it when it was a little older. So this lady is checking her rear view mirror right here. I think she's worried. Everybody seems worried because there's a cop car over there. In the back seat there is a big huge Barbie doll, I guess her daughter, in some Minnie Mouse pajamas or clothes or something. But That's not a car seat, is it? Isn't that a potty seat? Are you training your daughter to potty long distance in the car? There's not even a bucket underneath. It's interesting, this whole Maverick, which is in pretty good shape, even in the interior, is pretty good. Vinyl roof probably needs a new one, but it's New Jersey plates and a Missouri inspection sticker. No wonder you're worried about the cops. This couple looks like they're out for a Sunday drive. Old Mercury Marquis has a flip headlights there. Pretty cool. So overall, these mannequins are in pretty good shape. There's no cracks or anything on their faces like the other ones. So there's a jacket right there. It says Lyle's Gasoline Alley. And then over there, it's like some other clothing items that say Vans Auto, Sales, Service, and Rentals. But look how roomy this back seat is with the floorboard until you get to that front seat. I wish they made them that roomy. If you'll look over there, they have power windows in this, but there's also a cigarette lighter and an ashtray in the back. I really kind of miss cars having ashtrays. I'm not a smoker, but I did like keeping my change and gum and mints and stuff like that in there. But I have to wonder, with all the wildfires that have been happening the last year or so, and other times as well, if they would be less if you actually had an ashtray for people who do smoke to just put their cigarette out in rather than throwing it out the window. Look how long those cars used to be. They were absolutely tanks. See that old Ford sign? That's pretty cool. Those bricked in doorways were probably the restrooms, male and female over there. This old truck is Van Houten Service, Clarence, Missouri. Phone is 203. Old Ford truck, got some serious rust going on it. Still really cool to see though. And the Missouri plates from 1977. It's an older truck than that though. Pretty rustic looking, but very cool. Notice he's wearing an old MFA oil service station uniform here. There's no one on this. It's an old Honda Goldwing. I say old, I don't know, what is that, an 80s model? I'm not good at telling those. It has one of those old snail cargo trailers. But I don't know, people have tried to do stuff to it or what. It's really rusted out and beat up, but there's actually a sign on it that says this motorcycle has no great value. It has mechanical problems, so do not tamper with it. Thank you. But it's somewhat modern, I guess. A little bit of a digital screen or something there, but the old analog mileage. So here is the police squad car. It says Ford-O-Matic. Pretty cool. Love the character in the tail lights that cars used to have, as well as the headlights and the grille. Clarence Police. The old spotlight, bubblegum machine up top, creepy cop inside, and the siren. Look at the front of that. Didn't those have character? You even see the plane right there. Pretty cool. Clarence, Missouri, 1953. It's a little bit different Clarence Police sticker on this side. Does have a CB radio in there. It's pretty cool though. Noticed here there's a bullet that has been shot at the windshield, so someone's actually tried to shoot at this cop, or maybe it was like that before, I don't know. I think this cop needs some lotion. He's got a little bit of dry skin. You can see the pistols in the front seat. It gets so hot in there. Those plastic pistols have melted and bent. You can really see all of the old signage in here. They have a bunch. Look at the price of the gas. Regular 31 cents and ethanol 36. It's interesting. This says it's a historic site. Whether it's historic or not, it's certainly interesting. So I think what adds to the creepiness effect of just seeing lifeless mannequins over there is the fact that the station is next to a cemetery. And it looks like a well-maintained cemetery. There's nobody that's historically notable or famous per se, but they're all still important people. I'm sure there's a lot of town history right in here in this cemetery. Some really older looking markers out there. So that's going to do it for today's adventure on this creepy old gas station, but yet it's very cool. Love all the nostalgia, and I love that they're using things that otherwise wouldn't be used. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.